Oh, but anyway. Yes. So, Judson and I are still pretty good friends. Yeah, we got a really heated argument about smartphones. He was intoxicated though, and I know he was intoxicated because there's no way that he would have brought up this conversation when he was sober, because he knows how fervently opposed to this stuff I am, you know. So he brought it up and I got really angry, and I didn't want to talk about it anymore, but he just wouldn't let it go. He just kept talking about it, and I got so mad. I mean, I'm talking angry black woman with my neck roll and every motherfucking thing, man. Y'all see me when I get mad, like, that black voice really comes the fuck out. And he done pissed me all the way off, and he wouldn't shut up about it because he was drunk, you know, like, that's what drunk people do. After he sobered up and he came to his senses and he realized that was really fucking dumb, and he agreed with the fact that I stood my ground and refused to throw my principles out the window. He agreed with me and was like, I'm sorry that, you know, I was getting on to you about that. I'm like, you're damn right you're sorry, because you had to feel the extent of Amy Gross's wrath. That is just a minuscule representation of God's wrath, okay? And it's not a pleasant experience. It's not a pleasant experience in person, and it's definitely not a pleasant experience over the phone, because over the phone, I feel like I'm even more in my element. Because, like, when you're talking to somebody over the telephone, it's a lot like texting, where somewhat similar to maybe like what it's like to be a retard on Twitter, where like you don't have to take any responsibility for what you're saying and the type of mentality that you're exhibiting. But I knew that I was right, like everything that I was saying, but I was being such a cunt, and I will totally be a cunt when warranted. You know, like, don't tell me that I'm in the wrong because I feel strongly about something, and rather than just cave in and do what everybody else is doing because practicality, I stick to my guns. Don't tell me that, oh well, I'm just crazy or illogical for that. And there's no point me even bringing this up, because I'm not even mad at him anymore, because you know, we got over all that. But it's funny though, because of like how much that mirrored conversations that I've had with so many sheep over the years, since the technology came out over 15 years ago. I believe it came out in 2007. So people that tell me that oh well, I'm crazy and it's not going to change anything, and oh well, you already have this, you already have that. It's like, it doesn't matter what I already have. Like, why do I have to have this thing all because I have those other things? Like, oh well, you use electricity, you drive a motor vehicle, you fucking hypocrite. You have a laptop. I have a laptop that I keep under my recliner because that's how much I hate looking at the son of a bitch. If people saw the way that I live my life, like if they would bear witness to that, they would see that I'm not a hypocrite in ways that I can avoid. And I realize though that, you know, it's like, because it's the way of the world technically, like, people feel like they have no choice in the matter, you know? I understand that the majority of people in the vortex, you can't be this like au contraire, fuck you society, I'm gonna do what I want and be a little punk ass over here. Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't live the Amy Gross kind of lifestyle. I understand that. I don't judge you for it, by the way. I don't judge anybody for having a smartphone. I don't judge anybody for, well, I don't like the Apple Watches. I have friends that have Apple Watches. I don't understand it. It's way too far, but whatever, like, people can make their decisions. It's got nothing to do with me. That's like the libertarian side of me kicking in. But the crazy conservative fascist side of me sees how that's negatively impacting the entire world. You know, for example, I don't have a smartphone, but since everybody around me has a smartphone, say I happen to be talking about something crazy, you know, and the phone hears it, and you know, some shit goes down because of the phone like capturing something that I said out of my mouth, but I don't even have one of those phones. But you know, it's the bigger picture that people aren't looking at, and the reason why they don't look at it is because we've been trained as a society to just throw morality out the window. So it doesn't matter what we do. You know, like, oh, well, this doesn't affect you, it only affects me. I got into an argument with somebody that I do stand-up comedy with a while back. We got into this argument about transsexual people wearing dresses in public and shit like that. And he was like, I don't understand, like, that doesn't affect you. And I was like, well, that doesn't really affect me personally, but it does affect the family of four that has to share some kind of social space with that motherfucker, like in a grocery store or a restaurant or whatever the fuck. So that leaves those parents to have to answer questions by their kids that they shouldn't have to answer. I mean, I was actually talking to a gay couple about this recently. How they said they don't want to have kids because they don't want to have to explain to their kid what a transvestite is, okay? This is coming from a gay couple, all right? If this is freaking out gay people, I would say that maybe we've gone a little too far.